Giovanna, you in?
Let's do it.
Let's go. I thought that was a yes question mark, but that sounded like a yes period, heavy period at the end of that. So I'm here for that. Okay. Let's see. Obviously, Dan's gonna go. Eddie, you in, bro? Kate, you going?
Yes. I think last time you told me I didn't have a choice next time there's a competition. So,
I believe so. I believe so.
but I am ready. I am
I
home
like it.
home from buying Costco. So
Yo, you leave your house to go and buy Costco? That's crazy.
it's an hour from me. So
Oh, they
it's
won't deliver?
no, it's a trek.
It's like an extra $15, but for me, it's just like it is the world's best decision ever if you have to order Costco to do that. Because you're gonna spend more money going in the store, walking down an aisle you knew you had no business being in. Like, oh, I need 746 things of laundry detergent. May as well. It's on sale for $30. And
I
then
did
next,
not buy any Christmas ornaments, so it was a win today.
that's a win. Yeah,
Yes.
I went in there. I don't know when. It was definitely like 3 weeks ago, and they already had their Christmas stuff up.
Yeah. There's no Halloween at my Costco. It's all Christmas. So
That's hilarious. They just
yeah.
skipped right to the Christmas stuff. I respect it. That's fun.
Yeah. That's why I
Um,
was on my phone for an hour is driving back from the Costco.
that's awesome. Okay. John's making real calls. It looks like John, you gonna try out, bro? You gonna mess around? You gonna practice, homie? Don't shrug it off, bro. I need full commitment, dog. All right, John's doing it. Rodolfo, you going, bro? Once you get back from being daddy dearest?
Yeah, I'll be down.
I bet. iPhone, is that Nathan or is that somebody else? I don't know if that's Nathan or somebody else. Nathan be coming in here like iPhone. How do we want to do this first? Let's see. Let's just do an old school traditional scored one. And we're gonna let you guys, we're gonna randomly just this is gonna be fun. This is all practice. None of this is serious yet. Who wants to be the seller? Kate, you down to be a seller? Look, she raised her hand quick. I already knew.
Yes, my favorite.
All right, Kate, I'm gonna get you a seller motivation.
Okay.
And I am going to get you. Ooh, this is gonna be fun. Nah, how much, Dan? As a guest, you know you got to go first, right?
I guess I got no choice. So
You got no choice.
let me
This
know
is the
what
way
I
it
got to
works.
do. Yeah.
It'd be like that. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. Kate, I'm gonna send you a motivation. We're gonna do it traditional. We're gonna do old school style. We'll do some of the new stuff here in a little bit. Or maybe tomorrow. We're
Are
gonna
we
do it.
timing?
Yep, we're definitely gonna time it. I'm gonna DM you here a motivation, and maybe a personality type. And then here's the way this works. I'm gonna share my screen and I'm gonna show you how you're gonna be scored here in a second.
Dan, are you familiar with like personality types, like the colors kind of stuff?
Heard of
All
it,
right.
but I couldn't tell you what any of them means.
Let me share my screen and show this to you so you understand this real quickly. Right. So here's how we do this traditionally. This is how we're gonna do this right now. All right, let me share my screen. So this is the scoring sheet for the role play portion of the competition that we did last time. The way we did it the last few times, they were role play competitions leading up to live calls. The reason we do the role play competitions for a couple of reasons. One, because it's easier to practice this way, and two, because we're able to really, really pinpoint the things that you're good or not so great at. This is why we take this approach. So I'm going to share the scoring sheet that we use so you understand a little bit of the criteria, right? The way it works is like this. So I'm going to set a timer. You're going to have 6 minutes. All right. In that 6 minutes, you're going to say ring, ring. Timer starts when you say ring, ring. Kate is going to be the seller in this example. And then basically you're going to just treat this like like a follow-up call, right? You're going to assume that they've spoken to somebody. Hey, you talked to somebody on the team, you talked whatever, right? And you're going to treat it like a follow-up call. You're going to be graded during that 6 minutes on the strength of your intro, rapport building, fact finding and uncovering motivation, overcoming objections, presentation of solutions. Then there's going to be a little bonus section for your strength of close or the strength of your follow up. Each of these are out of 5. Okay. Now, your job is to get as much information as you can in 6 minutes. Promise you, 6 minutes goes by faster than you realize. Now, how are we going to grade the criteria of this? Well, I am going to DM a motivation to Kate in advance. So she already knows what the motivation is, and so do we as the judges. And we're going to grade how successfully you uncovered that motivation in the conversation, right? Also, she's going to have whatever personality type she's going to use. This goes into a much deeper thing. This is something I'm really passionate about. I'm actually creating like a whole thing in this community where I'm going to be teaching like personality profiles. I'm creating personality types or personality tests. I'm doing all the things. Why? Because my opinion and my experience, there's only a handful of types of people out there, right? The faster you can understand and identify the type of person you're talking to, the faster and more effective you're going to be at communicating with them and closing the deal, right? So identifying that should dictate how you take the call on. So if you are talking to a person which is a little bit more talkative or a little bit more long-winded, that we would call like a yellow seller, well, then what are you going to do? You're going to lose your time if you don't manage your time properly. So being able to identify that and manage all of the things you need to manage is going to be important. And you're going to be graded on all of that. Do you have any questions?
No, let's do it.
All right, I like it. I appreciate the boldness. All right. Who else wants to be a judge here? Let's do this. Let's have do we want Al to be a judge? I feel like his ego.
I mean, we need a Simon Cowell, and I feel like he's probably a Simon.
He's definitely Simon because he hates children and people and animals.
I did not say that Al hates children or animals, to be clear. I meant I could see him being no nonsense tough and the tough one.
What I'm hearing is she understands that you're a horrible person like the rest of us. Alon, that's what I
heard Kate thinks I hate children. That's what I thought.
That's what I've heard. Okay, it's all right. It's okay, Kate. Right. Well,
this is how people get canceled.
Right here. Her nostrils flared immediately. Like, why y'all doing this to me? Okay, so we'll let Al, and then we will let. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna judge. I'm just gonna give comments. We're gonna let Al, Giovanna, and Jack judge. All right. Now it's out of 5. Don't be too easy on him, but don't be too hard on him either. Right? Let's just like middle of the road. 5 or 6 out of 10 difficulty is what we're going with here. Again, guys, I'm going to copy and paste the scoring criteria in the chat. So you guys have that. Those are them. Each of them out of 5. Total score 30 per person. 90 total possible score. Okay? So that's what you're going to be grading on. Okay, let me get you Les Motivation.
So quickly, this is a follow-up call, so I've already know.
Yeah, let's just assume they talk to a VA.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to. How difficult do I want to make?
Al, it's a 1 to 5 rating, I think, right?
1 to 5. Al, read the room, bro. Okay, I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm doing this one. All right, Kate. And then, Kate, I will let you pick the personality type. You go crazy. Okay. But here is the motivation. I'm sending it, Al, and Giovanna and Jack, check your DMs. I'm sending you guys the motivation. So you can gauge how successfully Dan unlocks the motivation. Sorry, chat. About to see how good of judges you are. Are you aggressive? Are you merciful? Are you educated? Are you closed-minded? Right? This is going to be telling as much about you guys as it is about Dan, just to be clear. All right, there y'all go. Y'all got the motivations. You guys good? Give me a thumbs up if you see the motivations. We're grading Dan. All right. You good, Jack? All right, Pumpkin. Dan, you ready, bro? What are your nerves
it.
looking on a 1 to 10? Tell the truth.
I'm in front of a bunch of people who I don't know, maybe except other than John. So I'd say out of 10, maybe like a 6 to 7.
All right, I like 6 to 7. That's fair. That's a good number. Okay, here we go. Dan, you're calling Kate. You got 6 minutes. The second she says hello, you stay ring. She says hello. When she says hello, the timer starts. And you got 6 minutes to make magic happen, bro. Whenever you're ready.
Going for that triple dial. All right.
Is there
Ring. Ring.
Hello?
Ring. Hi,
Hello?
Kate.
Yeah.
Kate.
Yeah, it's Kate.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Dan. I'm sorry to call you out of the blue. One of my partners mentioned they spoke to you about a property of yours. Do you recall that?
Yeah, I've been getting some calls.
Oh, I'm sure you have. It's, part of my job is, all the people that have called you before me. So if you don't mind me asking me, what's got you looking to sell that property?
Well, I mean, I don't know what your team told you, but I don't really have a choice. So, I'm selling.
I gotcha. Yeah, unfortunately, they didn't give me too much info. But they just mentioned that you had a financial situation and you were looking to get rid of that property. So, I'm happy to be a resource to you. You mind just let me know a little bit about what's going on? I know it's personal, but any info you could give me will really help me help you.
Well, I mean, it's not really my choice. Sometimes things are not left up to the individual and this is where the lawyers decided things needed to be. So I'm selling.
Okay, I appreciate that info. It's tough going through a situation like this, and I can't say I necessarily relate, but I could definitely be here to help you out, and hopefully be the one to guide you in the right direction. I mean, how much longer do you have until you have to get rid of the property?
Uh, I mean, we're almost settled, so it's got to happen soon.
Okay. So what's important to you in a sale? I mean, obviously, I know you're going to be looking for the best offer, but maybe other than price. I mean, what are you guys looking for?
Just price and to get it done. So we're done.
Okay, no, I get it. I mean, do you have a number in mind? I mean, what do you need to get out of the property to be able to move forward?
Uh, I mean, I need at least 350 for at least one of them.
Okay, all right. And if you don't mind me asking, I mean, how'd you get that number? Is that based on some properties in the area, or a number you just had in mind that you
That's
need?
just what to get everything settled, what we need.
Okay. So if I was to, be able to help you out, I know it's a tough situation, but if I could, make sure you're closed out and get this headache off your shoulders in, say, the next 30 days, I'd pay cash, so make it a quick transaction, no fees, no commissions. I mean, if I could do all that for you and, like I said, get this done quickly, I mean, is there any wiggle room in that price point?
No, it's got to be at least that much.
Okay. Is there uh is there any financing left on the property, or do you know if this is free and clear?
Um, there is some financing left, yes, which is why it needs to be at least that number to get everything settled.
I gotcha. Okay. No, I get you. I mean, if there was a way where, I can maybe, say take over that financing and,
No, we've had that
maybe,
conversation before. That won't work in this situation. We have to
okay,
sell.
I gotcha. I mean, what kind of offers have you been getting?
I mean, I've been getting a lot of those creative offers and this just doesn't work for us. We have to get it settled and so we can move on, and get on with things.
All right. I mean, it sounds like you guys are obviously looking for, you know, uh, top value for the property, and I get it. It's your property and you're owed that. I mean, have you thought about going to conventional route, maybe getting a real estate agent so that way you can get that number you're looking for?
That's, that's a possibility, but I'm trying to get it done as quickly as possible so that I can just be done.
Okay. So I mean, it's gonna be tough. I'm not gonna lie to you that it's a hard number, but if I could get that number approved, I mean, is that something you'd be ready to move forward with today?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's gotta have it be at least 350. I won't consider anything lower than that. I will not look at 349.
Okay. How about 349.5?
No, it has to have a 3, a 5, and a 0 at least.
That's fine.
If
I
you want to
think,
add some more zeros on the end, I'll take that too.
hey, if I had more zeros, you and I would be on vacation somewhere, not talking about this house, somewhere, a little bit of a better situation. So, again, it's going to be tough, but I'd like to help you out. So I'd like to meet you at that number, at that 350. How does that sound?
I mean, it sounds great, but I won't, I don't see anything in front of me.
Sure.
So,
Well, how about this? How about, have you ever used DocuSign before via email?
yeah. I mean, I can sign stuff or look it over, but I can look it over, but I can't really sign anything right the second it has to, there's other parties that need to verify things. I've got to get my lawyer to verify things.
I gotcha. Yeah. I'm no stranger to working with
And that is
attorneys.
time, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Dan with his first role play call in front of people, bunch of strangers except for one guy. How you feeling, dude? How you feel about the call? How do you think you did? Give us your personal opinion.
Yeah, it's a fun exercise. It's definitely super challenging because like there's no like preliminary information. So you kind of have to, yeah, just kind of go with the role. But it's yeah. I mean, I think it went well. I tried going for that close. Not knowing if 350 was a good value or not. But Kate definitely plays a hard role, so it was fun.
I like it. All right. Now, none of you guys that are judges right now have ever done this before. So you have 0 frame of reference, and I get that. That's partially by design. I'll happily give feedback on if I disagreed with any of the points, or how this would have fared, for example, in a situation against hold on, this is not it's not, the screen is not sharing properly. Can y'all see this? Can y'all see the screen?
No,
Interesting.
I saw a Yorkie a second ago, but no,
Saw a Yorkie.
nothing now.
Let me try.
Yeah, wait, Dan, you have a lot of Yorkies, right? Is that
I have
the
7
case?
Yorkies.
Yeah, wow. I remember, yeah, watching a video a while ago. You said a number, and I was like, no way, but thanks for confirming that.
Anytime, bro.
I've got a dog and 2 cats, so I'm halfway there to a pack like
A
that.
dog and 2 cats is almost like a
Yeah,
whole,
I mean,
almost. So you got that going for you. Okay, is that working? Can y'all see that now?
Yes.
Much better. Yeah, Matt, 100%. Also, Matt, you got medium dogs too, bro. So let's see, is this sharing properly on my side too? Okay, fantastic. So, okay, here's what we're gonna do. Sorry about that. All right, guys. So just judge. I will give you feedback whether or not I agree or disagree with it. Just do your best. Give your opinion honestly on each of the things. Feel free to give any feedback you want. Don't be too extremely long-winded for the sake of time. But yeah, Al, go ahead and go first, bro. What are your thoughts?
So there were definitely some things I liked and some things I thought you could have done better. I think in general, as somebody that's not in any community, like you did fantastic as, relative to other people that are in this industry, especially when they're, I don't know, having gone through training necessarily. I think it shows mostly in your tonality, in how smooth you sound, I would say. Like it sounds like you're on the phone a lot. You're talking to sellers all the time. Like this is nothing uncomfortable for you. So definitely I'll give you that. Now regarding this conversation, I mean, Kate was not so easy to talk to. And that's something you had to deal with. Now, it did sound like, she's been through this already. She's already talked to people. She's kind of just wants to get to the point. She just wants somebody serious to just give her what she needs, and that's it. I think it would help if you were just a tiny bit more to the point, but also trying to maybe try to build some rapport with making her laugh, maybe talking about, how our other conversations went like, or maybe talk about how this process should go. Like maybe there's something to do with the husband. So, oh, did she mention a divorce, or
I think she did.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think you got that. So yeah, go ahead. Get to the scoring, bro. We'll talk about it. Make that a part of the factor.
Okay. Yeah. So you did uncover that she did give some hints. There's an attorney, there's other parties. It wasn't quite, it wasn't quite clear what's going on with her. But I think if you did actually, kind of got to the point really fast and being very professional, she may have, have her see that you know what you're doing, and then maybe potentially help her open up a little bit more and tell you what's exactly going on, right? As she understands that it is actually beneficial for her to share that information or just be more comfortable. Now,
strength of intro. Start from the top. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, strength of intro. Yeah, I already have all this. So I gave it.
I can put it here.
Yeah, I gave it a 3.
Okay.
Do I just give a number? Or do I explain?
Yeah, you can explain if you want.
I think it was good. The only thing I didn't like is you asking for her name, and saying out of the blue. That's like overused. Like if you already got her number from your VAs, then you should just get to the point. Hey, Kate, this is Dan calling about this and that. Rapport building, I'd say 3. So it's in the middle because I did like how you sounded, but that being said, you didn't actually build enough trust with Kate. Fact finding 3. Again, it was in the middle. You got some information, but not enough. Overcoming objections, there weren't really any. I don't feel like there were any specific objections. I think there was the only objection I noticed was Kate not wanting to tell you what's going on. And then you had some like a rebuttal for that, which is pretty good. So I gave you a 3.5 on overcoming objections. Presentation of solutions, also 3.5. And then strength of close or follow-up, I gave you a 2. One, because you didn't have the time to do it, but also you did try to close at 350 or whatever number she said, and it's like, I'd love to meet you at a number. How does that sound? That's like, there was no committal anything before that, not knowing what the next step would look like if you did actually give her that. So that brought me to a 2. So that's it.
Good stuff, Al. Really, really good feedback. All right, Giovanna, we're going to go to you. Part of the reason why I picked different people for judges in this particular circumstance is because these guys may agree or disagree with Al's opinion. They don't need to agree with him. You guys can disagree with him drastically. I don't care. Why is that allowed? Because sellers are different. So one seller's opinion on how good you did on a call doesn't carry to every call. Every call has its own merit because every call is going to be viewed differently by who's talking to you as the seller. In same fashion, you guys as the judges are listening with different ears. So I'm interested in, and you guys have the full right to bring your perspective. Now, you can be right or you can be wrong. But yeah, feel free to speak your piece. Giovanna, what are your thoughts?
All right. Hey, Dan. I think you did very good overall. I mean, you sounded like friendly on the phone and easy to talk to. Kate was a little bit of a harder seller to talk to. In terms of like the intro, I gave you a 2, just because there's definitely like room to improve, just kind of getting to the point a little quicker and establishing everything in the beginning, in terms of like the technique or strategy. For the rapport building, I said like 2.5, kind of between a 2 and a 3, just because you were really friendly, but just couldn't break through that wall or like build that trust necessarily um, to with Kate as the seller, and the fact finding and uncovering motivation. I gave you a 2 because we never really got to the true motivate, or like, yeah, the true situation in this, which was like divorce settlement and liquidating assets. So there was a little more kind of to dig to understand her true situation, and that could have been like a connecting part in terms of that would have got your like rapport building, probably had an easier time doing that. Overcoming objections, I had a 3. Think you were doing a good job, like trying to, and like trying different ways to, well, I guess trying different ways, asking different questions. Like you did have like a smoothness on the phone, and you were just kind of seeing if there was anything that kind of stuck to be able to kind of open Kate up a little more. In terms of presentation of solutions, originally I had a 0, but then you did try to close because I didn't know that you got to the end, but yeah, you did. So give you a 2 for that. You did go for like the if I can, are you ready? So that was good. And yeah, I mean overall not bad at all.
No, strength to close
Really
and
well
follow.
done. Oh, okay. I thought that was the one I was on.
Yeah, so there are two things. So presentation of solutions and strength of close and follow up. So you separate those and put them how you want.
Okay, so I'll give the strength and close a follow up a 2. I thought that's what the one that I was on. Presentation of solutions. I'll give it a 2 as well, only because it was hard to really present the proper solution without truly knowing the full situation. So yeah.
Good stuff. Solid feedback. Giovanna is not playing any games, and I'm here for it. All right, Giovanna, appreciate you. Jackie C, what you got, dog?
All right. So take it with a grain of salt. I'm a bit more of an asshole, but I think my personality is pretty similar to Kate's. I might be a little bit more like farther out, but that being said, for the intro, I gave you a 2 just because I probably would have hung up on you. And if I didn't hang up on you, I would have been annoyed just because I felt like it was really dragged out. But I mean, just hearing you on the phone, like Alon said, you can tell that you've done this a lot of times. So like, your voice it brings that peace. So, aside from the fact that it took in my head forever, I think your voice still sounded good. Rapport building. Okay. Rapport building, I did give a 1 just because I couldn't really pick out any concrete rapport building phrases or questions or anything really that got her to show any emotion besides the emotion she answered the phone with. You feel me? So rapport building, I just didn't feel like it was there. Fact finding and uncovering motivation, I gave you a 3. I think you did a phenomenal job with fact finding. Besides the fact, or the only thing that I didn't like was for uncovering motivation. You didn't end up actually figuring out the real problem. You got a lot of facts that were close to that problem and like were right around it. You were so close, but you just didn't uncover that key motivation, being that she had a divorce. Where are we? Overcoming objections. I did give you a 2 for this one. The only time that I really got to see you have a clear objection was when you presented sub 2, and you didn't really go in depth explaining, or you didn't say like, oh, I mean, like I didn't view you as the expert in this call. And I think if you kind of took control and really went into explanation and described or like asked more questions or just did something, I feel like you kind of let that one go pretty quickly. And then presentation of solutions. I also gave this, oh shit. Okay, well, it's in the chat now. I gave this one a 2, just because I didn't think that, you know, I'm gonna group this in with the strength of close because these two kind of go hand in hand. Like when you presented that offer, you know this better than I do, that if a seller is giving you a price and it's their first price, it's 99% of the time way too high. So I think we both knew that that price was not going to work. So you didn't really go into depth of like, again, why or how they got to that number. I know they said that they just needed that number, but you being the expert could have come in with some better explanation of, well, here's why we need to be here, or this is what I can do and this is why it's beneficial, that type of thing. So I gave both of those a 2. Strength of close was a 2 just because of what I just said. So yeah, overall, I liked how you sounded though, for real. I really did. I'm just a bit more like aggressive, I guess you could say.
You're an asshole like Kate, is what I hear. Rumor has it.
No, I
I
didn't
wasn't
say.
even going for asshole with that seller.
No, I
I'm
said we
glad
were
that it
similar. Like,
presented that
man,
way.
He said what he said, Kate. He said what he said. What he
uh,
Oh, that's so funny.
just like more to it, right to it.
said. Okay, good stuff. Really, really, really good feedback, guys. Before I give my feedback on this whole thing, Dan, how do you feel about their feedback? How do you feel about their thoughts? Are you on board with it? Do you think they're stupid? Tell the truth, bro.
My confidence coming into the call was like an 8, and now it's like a 3. So thanks everybody. But I think it was all, you know, good feedback. It's not to say, oh, I could have done so much better, but you know, without knowing a lot, you're kind of scrambling all over the place. But it definitely, all the feedback shows me that, you know, I got to get to the point a little bit more, or, you know, it's all about the questions, how you frame things. So, you know, it's all good criticism, and it's feedback rather than criticism, maybe both, but, you know, motivation to perfect the craft and, you know, just kind of get more dialed in with my presentation and fact finding.
Yeah, that's exactly right, man. So here's my feedback on all of this, and I don't know how that's going to change your confidence, but this is why I teach this stuff. This is why I spend so much time talking about this, because you use the right word. This is a craft. This is a skill set. And some of us are inherently gifted at talking to people, but that doesn't replace the need to develop the skill of talking to people. Now, if you don't have the inherent gift, all the more reason to develop the skill. And all of that comes down to intentionality, knowing that you're coming into the conversation with a full built out plan and strategy for how you're going to approach this conversation. So rather than hoping it gets to the end that you want, you plan on bringing it to the end that you want. Your intentionality is to do that, and you move with that intent. Now, that being said, how do I look at this call? I probably would have been right there around Giovanna's numbers, to be completely honest with you. Right around there. I think Al was a little bit nice with it, and that's fine because we all have different perspectives. But here's why I would have gone that direction with the numbers, because to your point, you do sound nice. You sound like you want to be there. You sound like a person who's making calls all the time. That doesn't help you if you don't improve. You know what I mean? One thing that you do very clearly in your calls is you show up as your opinion of polite and your opinion of pleasant. The problem is, what happens if the seller you're talking to doesn't share your opinion? Are you going to lose that person?
Yeah.
Right? And that's what happens. Another thing is you do not have a lot of direction. So the whole conversation, to Jack's point, did feel very drawn out. That felt like a forever 6 minutes. And normally these things go so fast. That felt forever. I kept looking at the thing like, has it been 6 minutes yet? And I've done hundreds of these, maybe thousands of these. And they normally feel super fast. Yours felt longer. Why? Because it just kind of felt like you were just meandering the whole time with a bunch of hypotheticals. So yeah, maybe if I could do this, well, maybe if I could hypothetically, what if I, maybe it, and it was just like, you, in that you could tell there wasn't the confidence, there wasn't the control, because what were you doing? You weren't telling them where to go. You were just, I don't know what you were waiting for, maybe for them to tell you what needed to be done next. And that's the part you have to solve for. You need to go in there with the intent to take it out. So here's some of the things you missed. One, she made a comment about attorneys. Why didn't you dig in the attorney topic?
Yeah, great question. It's probably the most important part, and yeah, should have dug more.
Yep. So when she says attorneys, first thing that's coming out of my mouth is interesting. Attorneys, what do you mean? What's going on? Is it like, I may just leave it there. I may say, is it like a divorce situation or is there a settlement? What's going on? Right. And then I'm going to let her open up and talk about the situation. Another thing is she mentioned multiple properties. She said for that one, and I believe it was like $100,000. And then you didn't go into the multiple properties at all. I feel like you just left that alone. Am I wrong, Kate, or is that something that he missed?
He did miss it. And to be fair, I didn't say lawyer until the very last 20, 30 seconds. Now I tried to drop hints before that, but the actual.
No, you actually did say it earlier on. You
said
it.
Did?
Yep.
Okay. I don't remember that.
Yeah. So you said it earlier on, you said it at the end. So those would be the two things, right? So like I'm digging in on that. She mentioned she has multiple properties. I'm digging in on that. Definitely, I agree with them with the intro. I think Al nailed it on the intro. I would have definitely switched that intro. Intros, I've done countless trainings on this. We have a 2.5 hour training in the community on this. Intros are it's the starting point of the conversation, right? And it needs to be 5 to 10 seconds, and it needs to be concise, and it needs to outline what's about to happen, at least in feel. And that was a little bit off there. And I would say those are the things that direct where the conversation is going to go, and it allows you to really paint a picture. One question I think that you could have used a lot with her, especially after she says, I'm not taking a penny less than 350. One question. You want to take a guess at the one question I would have asked the second she said that?
Why?
That's a good question, actually. But here's the question I would have asked. I would have just said, okay, that's fantastic. I get that. Boom, Al. See, Al? I love it when you get me, bro. Right there. I just threw it in the chat. My next question, which she says not a penny less, I would have said, fantastic. Let me ask you a question. What happens if you don't sell these? What happens if you just can't get the number that you want? And I'm waiting for her to answer. It's the awkward question. It's just like I was telling Rodolfo earlier, with his feedback. You got to ask these questions and make them really think about the consequences of inaction or being stubborn to something that they don't even know they can get. You see what I mean? So all in all, good stuff, man. Hopefully these are good takeaways for you. You have good bones, if you will. If we're talking using house language, you just got to have some of the things. Yeah, real action. Sorry, I'm on YouTube too. It's what happens if you can't sell. So yeah, bro, you just legit, you just need to be around some people. You need to hear some different language, and you need to just pick up some different structures. You'll be an animal. Seriously. It won't 30, 60 days of you being around stuff like this, and you're a different human being on the phones. You're locking up deals, right? Even Al, within his first week became a different human. He's a horrible person now, but he used to be worse, if you can imagine. So, but at least he's a horrible person that can close deals. That being said, any final thoughts, Dan?
No, I mean, I think this is definitely motivation. I mean, you really don't realize your flaws until people point them out. You can listen to your conversations over, but you'll have a hard time critiquing yourself, whereas others will be straight to the point. So, it hurt the feelings in a way, but it's just that confidence to get better. And like you said, put myself around people who do know how to structure conversations better and learn from the best.
That's it, man. And to your point, you've been doing this on your own. So big freaking congratulations for you getting as far as you have. But this is why doing this around other people is so, because you don't know. How are you going to critique yourself on something you don't even know you're doing wrong?
True. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, yeah, legit surrounding yourself around stuff like this, you could do more in the next 30 days than you did in the last year and a half. That's how important communities and focused skill sets are. So super good stuff, George. Appreciate you, bro. I just got called a beacon of light in these dark times on YouTube. So, Al, guys, if you guys don't start complimenting me in that same fashion, I'm going to feel...
I'm an a-hole and you're a beacon of light.
Correct, Kate. At least we finally... You know where this is all coming from, right? You do know why this is happening.
No.
It's because of your disrespect towards my Stallone impression.
Oh, Jack wasn't even here for that, though.
Bro, it was the hater energy. That's the problem. You put the energy out there like that, and it circles back at some point, I think. I read that somewhere.
But I said your Italian accent sounded less Mario, so I tried to
Yeah.
balance that out.
I'm
It sounds like-
Why are you laughing at her? He was over here laughing. She said, my accents go crazy. I'm like an 8 out of 10 accent guy. I feel like not all accents. I can't do Trump. Like I'm not a great Trump impersonator. I can't do
Your
that.
Texas accent was not great either. It was
See,
hard to
this is
tell.
the energy, right?
Yeah.
Now, that's all I'm saying, Kate. Like, it's okay. It's okay. I hope nobody else calls you bad words. That's all I'm saying.
Man, I didn't mean it. All right, Kate, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you an asshole.
I'm just giving you a hard time, man. I know I texted my husband. He's like, "That's probably why you got a divorce."
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's exact. Now we know why the lawyer's demanding
yeah.
liquidation of assets right here. It's all been uncovered, Joe. Okay, good stuff. Look, Dan, let me reshare this to show you, just for a little bit of context, bro. When I did this last competition, these are with people, some of which were new, some of which had been doing this for a very long time. That's not the right screen. Scoring sheet. Here we go. And just to be clear, bro, like look at these scores. We had people with scores in the 20s, in the 50s, and then obviously we had people with higher scores. These are the people that made it to the finals. And you had a 43.5, bro. So like all in all, really, really not bad for literally never doing this before. Like this is it's a great starting point, dog. Seriously.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate the opportunity for you guys letting a non-member come in and get some practice. So yeah, this is definitely fun.
All right, awesome. All right, let's do more. Who's up next? Who's trying to go next? Oh, Jack raised his hand. Fast. All right, it'll be Jack then Al. Al, let me see you get anything less than a 60, bro. I'm legit flying to Colombia, and I'm hitting you with. Tell me something Jewish to hit you with. Something Israeli, specifically Israel, like a dreidel.
Challah bread.
Challah bread. I'm gonna slap you with some challah bread. Challah. Y'all saw that? I'm getting there with my Israeli too. I'm working on it. Dan, we have like 74 Israeli people in this community from Israel, to be clear. So I have to practice my Hebrew.
Yeah,
Am I
you'll get there.
gonna be a seller again?
Of course. Kate, you can be a seller as often as you would like, because you're fantastic at it. All right, we coming up. So Jack, that means Eddie, you want to be a judge? Okay, Eddie, you're gonna be the judge. Jack, you're going. I'm gonna hit Jack with a little bit of a harder seller motivation than something like divorce. Let's do something. Ooh, I know what I want to do. Or do I want to do that one? Nah, because I don't want to give Al any excuses. Here we go, Kate. This one's gonna be fun. She's gonna be biased. That's rough, Jack. You set yourself up for this, dog. Full transparency.
I am nothing if not petty. So get ready, man.
I'm nothing if not petty. That's the best. I don't know if that's a flex or not, but it was funny. Boom. All right. To Kate. To Giovanna. To Al. Wait, hold on. Wait, what did I just do? Did I just shut off your video, Al? If I shut off your video, I'm sorry. I was trying to chat you. Turn your video back on.
Yeah, and I can't turn it back on.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, is that in case somebody's like naked? And then
Oh, I guess.
I have been on a lot of Zooms and I may or may not have seen certain unmentionable parts. It happens. It'd be like that. Luis, what's going on, man?
Nothing much right here. Just listening to you guys doing Uber.
Ah, very nice, bro. Are you getting the gist of what's going on today?
Yeah. I'm just waiting for a rider that's coming downstairs already to hop into the car. But try to listen to you guys to learn.
Nice.
I'm from the best.
This is the type of Uber driver I would be. I would just have it fully on speaker and let my passengers hear it. And if they have a problem with it, be like, "Hey, what do you do for a living?"
I got 2 phones there. See?
Ah, nice, nice, nice.
One so I can listen to you guys, and the other one so I can drive right now. Take the customer.
I like it, man. Well, we're here. Let us know if you have any questions, bro. Drive safe.
Yeah, now he's gonna be listening to you guys and learn.
Love it, bro. Love it. All right. All of you guys got the motivations, yeah? Good to go. All right. Judges got it. Judges are good to go. Kate is good to go. All right. Jack, why'd you shut your camera off, Jack? Why are you scared, bro?
Nah, it's the way I like to do it now.
Whatever, man. All right. So you know what it is? Say ring ring. When she answers, I hit start. You got 6 minutes to not sound stupid.
Oof. All right. Ring ring.
Hello?
Hold up.
I'm not
I
stopping
have
the
to
timer,
turn my
bro.
camera off too.
All right, all right. Kate, it's okay. Kate, it's Jack. I was just calling about your property on 123 Main Street. Apparently, you spoke with one of my partners about selling. Is that so?
I probably did.
You probably did. Okay. Well, are you interested in selling?
Well, I guess I am now.
You guess you are now. Well, I don't want to force you to do something that you don't want to do. So, I mean, if we could work something out, would you be interested in selling in the near future?
Yeah, I mean, that's why I answered your call.
Okay. Well, what can you tell me about the property a little bit?
Well, I've owned it for 50 years, and
Wow.
all my grandbabies, come to visit me, and my kids were raised here, and the dog's buried in the yard, and it's just a wonderful neighborhood.
Interesting. I mean, you lived there so long. Why would you want to sell at this point?
Well, just sometimes it's things happen and it's time.
Understand that. I totally understand that. So all your kids moved out, your grandkids moved out.
Well, the grandkids up until last week were all coming over all the time.
Oh no, what happened?
Well, that Helene came to visit.
She
But,
did. How long did she stay there?
well, it's just a few hours, but the grandkids it's just a wonderful house. We got the porch swing. You just have to, put it back up. It fell off, but
I'm sorry to hear that. Did it do a lot more damage than just the porch swing?
I haven't I don't really, go upstairs much anymore. So I don't really know.
Okay. Really quick, do you live there by yourself?
Yeah, it's just me and the dog's gone, so it's just me, but my grandbabies like to come over all the
Gotcha.
time.
Okay. Yeah, no, I can understand that. It's a lot of work to keep up, especially after unwanted visitors come by and stay. Well, look, I want to help you out here, and it seems like there's a solution that we can figure out so that you can, get a favorable number for this house. And I mean, would you want to live near your grandkids? If you moved, where do you want to go?
Well, I've always thought about moving, maybe closer to the beach a little bit. So,
Closer to the beach. Didn't you just get hit by Helene?
well, I like taking my walks on the beach.
No, I get it, believe me. Okay. Well, let's see. I mean, it looks like the properties in your area are going for about, 350,000 when they're all fixed up and new. I'm guessing your property's got a good amount of work to do. So here's the thing. If I were to come in and give you a all cash offer and no agent commissions, no closing costs or any of that, is whatever the number I give you is the number that you get. what would be a number that would make you happy to walk away with?
What makes you think my house needs a lot of work? It's a beautiful home. My husband built it for me.
Oh, no, I don't mean by any means that it's not a beautiful home. I'm just saying, you've lived there for so many years. It's just you. I imagine you haven't been replacing the kitchen all by yourself. And after Helene, I'm sure there's, some damages that need to be repaired just to get it back up into tip-top shape, which is what I would be looking to get it in. So I mean, just a number off of the top of your head.
Well, I don't know. My son's a realtor, so I'd probably have him kind of tell me what it should sell for.
Oh, fantastic. Have you spoken with him about listing it?
He lives in Iowa, so he wouldn't be listing it.
Gotcha. Okay. Have you had any conversation with him about selling the property or helping you out?
Well, I mean, it's my house, so if I want to sell it, I get to sell it. I don't know. Since he's a realtor, he probably knows more about the value than me.
Right, totally. No, I understand that. Okay. Well, look, I want to help you out. I'm having a tough time getting an understanding of what we can do to make this happen. Is there, if I made an offer to you, would you be open to selling it? Because it doesn't even seem like you're looking to really sell it at this point, but I might be wrong.
Well, I mean, the insurance company is coming out
and that is time.
Damn, bro.
Damas y mujeres. Se acabó el tiempo. Jack, talk to us, Pumpkin. You're about to get roasted like a baby marshmallow.
I know, for real.
On the grill of closer feedback. Dan's gonna feel a lot better about his self-esteem after he look at him, ready.
Is he a judge?
No, he's not a judge.
Okay.
But you got the same judges except for yourself, right? And Giovanna was not soft-handed, sir. So look at that. Rodolfo calling you out too, about to get roasted, bro.
Damn.
So before that happens, how are you feeling, man?
Man, that caught me off guard so much. Like, I was not expecting that in the slightest. Like, as I talk with a lot of older people, especially in Florida and all that, and I don't have an issue with getting along with them, but this does seem to be like a common issue where it just like I have a really tough time of trying to reel them in, because one, I don't want to take advantage. But man, it's just tough. It's tough to ask the right questions, and especially when they don't fully comprehend or understand. I do better with sellers that are a bit more like to it. You feel me?
That's a horrible excuse, Jack. I love you, but that excuse is absolutely trash. Right. I don't even know how to. I don't know.
I figured in Florida you probably dealt with a lot of old people, and that's why I went old.
Yo, it's the losing 20 seconds because Kate was a senior citizen part. That is my favorite. Jack, that was awesome. All right, we get straight to it. Let me share the screen. While I'm sharing the screen, Dan and John got somebody on YouTube asking where in Jersey you work. I want to get the info for them. All right, share the screen.
So for me, I mean, I don't know if you want to put it in the chat, but we do Central and South Jersey, so pretty much from Middlesex, Monmouth, Mercer, all the way down to Cape May County.
I love it. Good stuff. And then John, if you want to throw it in there, I can read it out. John might be on a solo call. But hopefully that helps. Josh, if you got any questions, let us know, bro. George, I'll add it right here. Here in a second, bro. All right, Giovanna, I'm gonna let you go first.
I'll do the honors. I guess overall, yeah, it was a tough read in the beginning. Definitely didn't see that coming. That was good. In terms of the overall call, I think you definitely did your best. I could definitely tell you were trying to be like careful what you said and like the situation. I definitely think that didn't help in terms of like the direction or kind of leading in that kind of way, because you were trying to be like respectful and understanding once you figured out what the situation was. In terms of intro, I gave you a 2, because I think it was an older lady, and so maybe it would have been better to be a little smoother with her, or like match her energy a little bit. I think it was a little fast. In terms of rapport building, I think you definitely did your best. I gave you a 3. You're definitely trying to like talk about like the kids and like go off conversation, get to know the seller a little more. And so that was good. The fact finding / uncovering motivation, gave you a 2. We did make it to finding out that it was because of Helene sweeping over, and I think there was maybe more to uncover in terms of the seller's reason to move aside from the hurricane, or how that had an impact if the two situations were aligned. In terms of overcoming objections, I gave you a 2. I think you did handle one of, I don't know that there was too many objections, but the one that I did here, I think you managed well, just talking through it. In terms of presentation of solutions, I gave you a 2. I don't know how we completely got there yet, but I think just from what I heard, you were getting there, trying to solve for the situation to see how you can help this lady. There wasn't the true presentation, but you were there trying to see what you can do. The strength of the close and follow up, I don't think we got there, so I gave you a 0 for that one.
Got you a whole goose egg there, Jack. Good stuff. That's does that cover it, Giovanna?
Yes.
Okay. Jack, how you feeling, bro?
Honestly, that matches up. Yeah. I would have given myself that.
Okay. I like it. Let's go, Al. Let's go you next.
Okay. I'll just go through the list and give some explanations. So strength of intro, I'd give it a 3. It would have been higher than that if not, like if Kate hadn't answered like an old lady, which would have been a clue for you to slow down. Okay. So that's 3 right there. Now, rapport building, I also gave you a 3. So I feel like you were likable, you were smooth, but it's same thing. Like, she's an older lady. Biggest thing I would say is slow down and like make it super simple. Right? With that type of person, I feel like that's what they appreciate. They don't want any over complications or any or anything happening too fast. If you can just keep it, smooth and easy and slow, I think that would register with them. And also, since she's an old lady, I would feel like, they love to talk about their children, their husband, whatever. So she did mention her kids a couple times. I feel like you could have used that, just as a kind of way to build some connection. I mean, obviously, it wouldn't necessarily make you seem more professional in the real estate business, but, if that's what they love to talk about, it wouldn't hurt. So 3 there. on rapport now. Fact finding, uncovering motivation. So I feel like you did gotta, get an idea of what's going on. So I gave you a 3.5. Overcoming objections. DK, are you updating that? So we're
Yeah,
at
what was the rapport? I missed rapport.
3. We got 3.
Okay.
Overcoming objections. I didn't really notice any objections, so I was quite neutral there. So I gave you a 3. There was the price thing. Okay. Yeah, that was that. Feel like that's where you could have kind of explained at least how you do business or how things work in a very simple way. I think that would help you out. Presentation of solutions. I gave you also a 3 because I didn't really think that you got a chance to do any of that. Same goes to the strength of close and follow up, also a 3.
Boom. Maybe I'm noticing a little bit of your kindness and your grading skills. Maybe you're revealing your true character unwittingly. Alana, have you ever considered that?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll find out.
3 is neutral, I feel. 3 is like the middle.
So what you're doing is you're just sitting on the fence and not making any decisions. Is that the translation?
A lot of them I haven't noticed anything, so I just gave a neutral 3. But the other ones, I feel like there was good part of it and bad part of it, so it kind of brings it back to the middle again.
All right, I like it. Eddie, come with it, dog. Come with it.
Yo, all right. Strength of intro. I'm gonna hit you on that one, bro. I'm gonna give you a 1. DQ did not stop the time, so everything counted, even from the beginning. So that's 28 seconds, I think you said. So keep that out at 1. Rapport building. I think you did a decent job going in there once you kind of, figured out what you were doing. I'm gonna keep that at a solid 3. Fact finding, uncovering motivation. You uncovered the motivation. Picked up on the solid little nugget. So I'm gonna give you a 5 on that one because you did uncover the motivation. Overcoming objections. There wasn't really many. I'm gonna keep it as a neutral 3. I think you would have done good if you would have been presented any. Presentation of solutions. I don't really remember what was your presentation of your solution. So I'm gonna give it a 2.5. So it wasn't very memorable, but solid job. Strength of close follow-up. I think you would have got it, bro, if you would have got your intro good. Those last few seconds kind of killed you. Gonna give you a solid 3 on strength of close the follow-up.
What was the you said 3?
Yeah.
You said a solid 3. So not like a squishy 3? Okay. I like solid 3s better. Okay, not so bad. Jack, a little bit better than Dan. Not where you wanted to be, I'm sure. What's your feedback on their feedback?
I honestly think some of them were a little high and generous. Not high and generous, but their numbers were a little high and they were a little generous. Like rapport building, to be honest, I would not have given myself a 3. I don't think I really built that good of rapport. Presentation of solutions, I didn't actually present any solutions, so I would not have given myself a good grade there. Like, I was close to presenting solutions. I think I kind of got caught up in my own head of figuring out how I should present it, because I felt like in the back of my head, a seller finance, or if she mentioned a good cash offer, like something like that would have been good, but I didn't get to it. So I don't know. I still think that my numbers and my own head would have fallen a little bit closer to Giovanna's.
Very interesting. I like it. Yeah, here's my feedback, man. It's actually not too dissimilar to my feedback for Dan. You approach this conversation talking like you were talking to you. And I think you're skilled enough to do better than that. I think you're skilled enough to mirror and tailor your approach to the person that you're speaking with, and you just didn't do that. It just sounded like you were talking to one of the boys, and then that created a disconnect where you couldn't really connect with her. And I think that with not having good direction, I think you really could have sympathized, you could have empathized, you could have made a little bit of, a couple of jokes here and there. You could have made it feel like she was safe and having a good conversation with someone that wanted to help her. I felt like all of those things were missing because you were talking like you were talking to you. Now, what does this mean? Does this mean that you just have the habit of not tailoring your approach to the audience? Maybe. It also could be that you've gotten so comfortable to having one type of conversation that you've become unversatile and you don't know how to adapt. Whether it's one of those or both, those are not good things, because ultimately my assumption, Jack, is you want to become the type of person that it doesn't matter where I put you, it doesn't matter what conversation I put you in, you're going to be able to tailor within seconds who you are, the way you're approaching, not who you are as a person, but the way you communicate to the person that you're speaking with within seconds, so that you can do your best to maximize the opportunity of locking up that contract or getting that deal or helping that person. Is that a fair assumption?
Yeah, and to be honest, like that doesn't really normally sound like me. Like I'm on the phone, it's different. Like I can really like that from their first voice. So it was kind of weird that I didn't do that, to be honest.
Yeah. This is why I like doing this, man. I promise you that 6-minute timer, those eyes on you, people watching you, it makes a difference.
I felt it. I felt the pressure, it's different.
All right, awesome. Very good stuff. So we're going to put this down here. 47. I need somebody to break a 50, y'all. I need somebody to break a 50. Good stuff, man. Any final thoughts? No? All right. Al, you ready, Pumpkin?
Sure.
All right. All right. I'm gonna throw, let's see. I'm gonna throw Jack back up here in your spot. It's gonna be Jack, Giovanna, and Eddie. You already know the situation. You know what you got to do, right? You have any questions, any excuses in advance?
Nope.
Okay. Interesting. This is going to be good. I think this has got to be the one. I think this has got to be it.
I'm ready.
Why you always got to do weird stuff when it comes to me?
You're a weird guy, bro. I know how to mirror.
Said rude or weird? I said weird.
Yeah. You're a weird guy. Let me mirror, bro.
All right, cool.
All right. So, Kate, here you go.
All right, I'm ready.
This is going to be fun. I'm going to let you take whatever you think needs to happen here.
Okay.
Are we ready?
No, not yet, bro. Hold on, let me get peeps their stuff. Eddie. I hope Al notices the looks on everybody's faces once they see this motivation.
This is actually one that I've dealt with something similar. So
Seriously? Very nice.
I have real life to draw on for this.
Let's go. All right, you're gonna have to work for it. We don't know how she's gonna be. You don't know what to expect, Al. But what you do know is that you got 6 minutes to impress everybody. Or be ridiculed harshly in front of a jury of your peers. Any final words before we go into this, dog? No?
No. Let's go.
All right. Well, say ring ring when she says hello. The timer starts.
Ring ring.
Hello?
Hey, Kate. My name is Al. It looks like somebody may have talked to you about selling your house on Banana Street, it seems. Is that right?
Yes, I'm so glad you called back.
Perfect. Well, there I am. I mean, catch me up to speed a little bit. What has you looking to sell that house right now?
I had I just think it's time, and my advisor thinks it's time to sell it.
Your advisor. Okay. Mind you sharing a little bit about what that means?
Just, we just feel like just the way everything is lining up, this it's just time for me to just sell the property.
Gotcha.
When
It's time.
when the stars align, it's just time.
Okay. Okay. No, that makes sense. So I mean, when is it exactly? Is there like a timeline involved in selling this? I mean, when would you like to sell it by?
Well, I definitely want it before the end of this month, would be ideal. And, I'm already packed up, ready to go. So not everybody is out yet, but I'm ready to go.
I see. So you have some family living in there with you?
They're not family.
Okay. All right. And when you say the end of the month, I mean, do you mean like in the next 14 days?
Yes, definitely before All Hallows Eve, definitely.
I see. Okay. I mean, what happens if, I mean, is it, I mean, are you in the real estate business by any chance, for a profession?
No, it's just, I just want it sold before All Hallows Eve, definitely, for sure. Like,
Right.
what my
Okay.
advisor said would be best.
No, okay. I see what you mean. No, the only reason I asked that is because 14 days, that's a super tight timeline for selling a house. It also depends on some third party elements. So that, I mean, worst case scenario, if you're not able to sell it by the end of the month, I mean, is that terrible? I mean, what happens then?
Well, I mean, I'm going to be out before the end of the month for sure. That's just, I have to be out very quickly.
Gotcha. Okay, so even, let's say you had an agreement in place, but the actual closing date wasn't exactly that, you're still good?
It's just my advisor said it would be best. So I'm just sticking with what she said was just the right thing for me at this time.
Okay. No, I get that. So, I mean, here's one thing I can tell you. I mean, if we, somehow came to an agreement on this house, I mean, we could work really fast. I mean, we have the title companies in place, which are they're the company that goes ahead and that's the third party I was, referring to, that does due diligence on the house, is the middleman in this transaction. So I have some pretty good connections there that could really speed this process up. It sounds like 2 weeks is really important to you. So I mean, if we were to do this deal, this is definitely something I would, try to accommodate as much as I can. I mean, would that be helpful?
Yeah, I'm getting a good energy from you. So like that's really helpful. So, I just, hopefully you've got the right people ready to take on this property.
Yeah, I mean, I really hope so too. I mean, so talk to me a little bit about the house itself. I mean, what can you tell me about it?
It's got a great, it's north facing, which is, great. It's great energy there. It used to be, but it's just a very nice older home. And up until a couple months ago, I was very happy in the house.
Oh, wow. So sounds like something's changed.
Yeah, it's just sometimes, unwanted things happen, and it's just, my advisor said that it's my sign it's time to sell.
Right. No, it sounds like there's something personal in there. I mean, you don't have to tell me anything about it, but I mean, is there anything about it that you feel is important for me to know? Just,
you're gonna definitely need to probably have some energy clearing done for the property. That's just something I would recommend.
Right. So give it some new life, it sounds.
Yeah, there's some old life here. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Well, Kate, would mind if I share with you a little bit about how, obviously we're gonna have to reach an agreement on price. Mind if I share how I run my numbers?
Yeah, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. So just not for me. Basically anybody that would buy a house from you, whether that's me or somebody else. So how I go about this is I take a look in the area. I'm an investor, right? So I see what houses in the area are going for, preferably, the best ones, the ones that are, by best, I mean, most renovated, look the best, have the best finishes. And then I
Best
go,
energies, like the best energies.
that's helpful. So some people, I mean, you
And that is
obviously,
time, ladies and gentlemen.
all right,
All right. Al, how you feeling, bro?
wasn't perfect, but man, like I feel like Kate's a tough one for me with my personality, but
I
this
was
one
really
somehow better.
trying.
I'm gonna tell you, I got
Like
so
the Kate, now I'll just say this: the Kate that Dan had, oh man, I feel like I would have struggled with, but this was an easier Kate.
Here's what I'll say. It's interesting, right? Because I'm not gonna say anything. I have a lot of feedback on this. I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to right, exactly. That's how you comp this house. I don't want to say anything. I'm gonna save it to the end. I'm gonna go ahead and let the feedback start. Let's go ahead and start the feedback with Eddie this time. Eddie, you're going first. We're gonna start with you. I cannot wait, bro. I'm gonna let Eddie go. This was a good one. Kate, you freaking crushed this one.
Thank you. I enjoyed
letting out all aspects of your character freely without judgment for the most part, unless it's Jack. All right, Eddie, let's go.
Cool. Can't say anything about your intro, bro. It was perfect. I'm gonna give you a 5. It was 5 to 10 seconds. You explained who you were, reason for your call, and ended with an open-ended question. Not much I can say about that. Rapport building. I'm gonna give you a solid. I'm gonna give you a 3, bro. It felt really like you were kind of getting in there of what the whole motivation was and getting to the reasoning behind her wanting to sell. Your tonality was good. I think maybe just asking better questions would have got you to the motivation. You're really there, and with your rapport building, I guess what would have brought that up is better listening in the sense of picking up on little nuggets. She probably dropped like 10 nuggets that she wanted you to pick up on, and you didn't. So better listening would have got you up on that and would have got you to find the motivation. I'm gonna give you, for motivation, I'm gonna give you a 2. You found somewhat of a timeline from her, but you didn't find the true motivation. Timeline, I consider motivation, so I will give you 2 on that. Overcoming objections. The call was pretty smooth. There wasn't many objections. So I'm gonna give that a 3. Presentation of solutions. You were trying to give her solutions. What was stopping it was the motivation hadn't come out yet. And so I'm just going to keep that as a 3 because you were attempting to present solutions. And strength of close follow-up. There wasn't really much. I'm going to give that a 2.
What was you said 2 for presentation of solutions?
I think I gave that a 3.
Oh, 3. Okay, and then 2 for this. All right, bet. Good stuff. Jack, what you got, dog?
All right, really quick. Actually, no, I'll get there when I get there. So for intro, I'm right in line. I gave you a 5. I thought that was like in my mind, that was perfect. I couldn't have done anything better. Rapport building, I gave you a 3. I thought you had decent rapport, just going off of the fact that she said you had good energy, and obviously that's really big for her. So if she's saying that, you clearly got some rapport. I do think that it could have gone a little bit deeper. There was a few more levels you could have gone to get even farther into that rapport building, but you killed it to the extent that you did. So 3 for that. Fact finding, uncovering motivation. I gave you a 4 for this one. Even though she didn't come out and say exactly what it was, I feel like you picked up on it enough to like it changed the way that you ended up answering and talking from that point on. So just because she didn't come right out and say it and you didn't nail it on the head, you didn't get a 5. But I think, I mean, for facts finding and uncovering motivation, I think you did a really, really good job of that. You asked really good questions. And yeah, so I gave you a 4 for that. Now these last ones, since you didn't get there, you didn't present a solution, you didn't come up with a price. Do I go neutral or do I give 0s?
Whatever you want. So what was overcoming objections?
Overcoming objections. Oh shoot, that was I'm gonna give that a 2 just because there wasn't really anything that she came right out and said that was an objection. That one was tough. I mean, a lot of these, I think once you were getting towards presenting something, then maybe some more objections would have come up. But I can't say because it never happened.
All right, you can score whatever you want for these. It's whatever you think is fair, bro.
Okay, I mean, you never presented a solution and there was no closing. So for the strength of close, I'm gonna give you a 0, bro. I'm sorry. I don't think there's anything there. Presentation of solutions. 1.
Dang, savage. That's because you're soft, bro.
Yeah, Giovanna gave me a 0, so
because Giovanna's an animal. All right, speaking of animals, Giovanna, what you got? Give us the breakdown.
All right. So starting with like the intro, I gave Alon a 4. I think
Okay.
he did very well, was concise to the point. I think he could have married a little better, or like is that right in the end? Sounded a little rough for me. But overall it was really great. For rapport building, I also gave Alon a 3 because yeah, the good energy that Kate said about him. So definitely she felt good about him. That was important to her. So definitely came through with that. He sounded pretty good on the phone with her in terms of like mirroring. For fact finding and uncovering motivation, gave him a 3. We never got to the true motivation or the true reason for selling. I think he could have dug in on the advisor. I think Kate said that a couple of times, so could have dug into what that meant and probably might have gotten you there. And so I think we could have got a little more into the main reason why she was selling. For overcoming objections, I gave Alon a 3. There wasn't really much objections from Kate, but I think Alon came in with like the authority and you could tell that he does real estate, and so I think he would have fared well. And so that authority probably gave him a 3. In terms of presentation of solutions, I gave Alon a 3. I think he got Kate said with the timeline like 14 days pretty quick, and so he got to the point where he was presenting some sort of solution, I think, at some point, and I think he did fairly well when he was. The strength of close / follow-up, like Jack, we didn't get there, so stay consistent. Gave Alon a 0.
Dang.
To be fair.
Ow, bro.
Do you know what the motivation was at this point?
He still does not know.
Something happened 2 months ago. Changed your
I
energy.
hate you so much, bro.
You hate me?
I feel like
Yes.
I gave a lot of hints.
A lot. You gave like 74 hints, Kate.
So
I'll tell him. I'm gonna tell him right now, Kate. Al,
Like,
bro.
I don't know. It was weird. I don't know. Tell me.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. I was super frustrated with this call, bro, because you were right there. I genuinely believe one thing done differently, the rest of this call changes and you're above an 80. One thing. And I'm gonna pause on this for a second because this one thing so many of you guys struggle with. And I want to demonstrate how impactful avoiding even one thing can drastically change the trajectory of the conversation. You know what that one thing was, bro?
I think I do.
I think, I don't know. Maybe just ask her.
Okay. Okay.
Ask the hard question. I don't know.
So I said something happened 2 months ago, and you hesitated asking what that thing was. Like you didn't dig into that.
It's exactly what you just said, Al. You guys got it. Ask the hard. How many times, for those of you who knew the motivation, were you like, he's gonna get it. He's gonna get it. And then he just went left. Like, okay, well, let me tell you a little bit about how we do business. It's like, bro, nobody cares. What are you doing? You were right there. Like, am I wrong? Did y'all feel the same thing?
Yeah,
right? Like,
you were close. You were close.
I mean, I
Yeah,
get
I
it.
thought
The
we were
reason
gonna
I
get
didn't
there.
is because when I asked her initially, she just didn't say it. Like,
so
like,
here's what happened, bro. Here's what
where
happened.
does the line cross? Or do I just
The
go
line
for it?
get, the line there is no line, bro. You draw the line. You draw the line in being willing to ask the hard questions, even though you're scared to step over the line, because you can't make important decisions based off of assumptions. All you can do is what you have control over. You don't have control over their reaction necessarily, but you can impact their reaction by saying it in a way that reduces the likelihood of a negative feedback, right? So what happens, here's what we do. Hard question. They sound like they're not wanting to share it with me. Let me go the other direction. Well, you know who else is doing that? Literally every person that they're talking to. So what happens? Every conversation goes the same way. And no people actually get to the real problem. And what happens? She's sitting there like, all these people are saying the same thing. What do I say constantly, guys? You got to figure out how to stand out. One of the simplest ways to stand out is by simply asking the questions everybody else is avoiding. And what happens if worst case scenario, Giovanna disappeared, she's back. What happens if worst case scenario, you ask the hard question and she freaks out? Well, you course correct. You clean it up. But what's worse? Let me ask you an honest question now. And I know you know the answer to this, but I'm asking for the sake of everybody. What's worse? Asking the hard question and risking losing the deal, or never asking the hard question at all? What's worse?
The second one.
Why?
Wait, I don't know.
You don't even know the question?
I forgot which one was first. So you said
What?
what's worse, not what's better.
Okay, I'm gonna
It's
reset
too
it.
hard for my brain.
You got your crayons out, bro? Get your crayons out. We taking notes. All right.
Simple it down, bro.
So what's worse? Asking the hard question and risking losing the deal, or
Second.
asking the hard question and never not asking it at all. Right. So
Not
it's
asking
worse
the hard question.
Why is it worse to not ask it?
Well, it's a lose-lose because you never actually get to the bottom of it, and like you don't really lose anything because even if they do get pissed off, I mean, you can still save it.
Yep. And here's the thing. Not only can you save it if they get pissed off, but here's the part that nobody wants to acknowledge. They avoid asking a hard question because they're scared to lose a deal. What they don't realize is that not asking the hard question is more likely to lose the deal. You're putting yourself at a bigger risk of losing the deal by avoiding the hard question because you can't go anywhere with no information, but you can recover from a question that makes them uncomfortable. And that's what people don't realize. And I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know. And all of you guys who have seen me on calls or have done this yourself, y'all know this, right? Those of you guys who are in the community, you've done this and you've seen it work. So that being said, little lesson aside, Al, bro, here is exactly. Prince Edwards in YouTube said, how are you going to solve the problem if you don't ask the question? That's exactly right. And you can't. And we're here to solve problems. You can't solve problems you don't know exist. So here's the thing, Al. You were there. You knew you were there, but you were trying to be polite and you didn't push because you knew that it was obvious she was trying to hold back. You know what the issue was, bro? Here's the motivation. The house was haunted.
What kind of advisor do you think I had, Al?
I knew it was something weird. I just didn't like.
And she didn't even say Halloween. She said All Hallows Eve.
I didn't even know what that means. So I didn't know.
Actually, as I was saying, I was like, I don't know if he knows what that means.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know what that means. I thought like, is it Halloween? Is it like what's?
Yeah, your face when she said that was hilarious. I had to walk away because I was laughing.
My advisor is named Miss Cleo. She does great work.
I don't know nothing about no Miss Cleo, bro. $3.99 a minute. You can find out your future, dog. It's worth it. Worth every penny. But that's it, man. The house was haunted. So now that we know that, imagine if you just push at the beginning when she's like, oh, my advisor, you asked the question. She hesitated, and then I think you responded with like, are you familiar with real estate or something like that? I'm like, why did he do that? If you would have just been like, okay, but to be clear, like, and I'm sorry if I'm prying, but I just want to make sure I understand so I can know how to help. When you say advisor, when you say X, what does that mean exactly? And then just let them sit there awkwardly in silence for a minute while they decide, and then get the information and move forward. If they freak out, be like, hey, okay, if you don't know, you don't have to tell me, right? I'm happy to work with the information that you're giving me. Just understand that I may not be able to give you the best solutions if I don't know what I'm solving, but I'll do my best. Is that okay? Perfect. And then you move back, you course correct, and you move forward with no information. But at least you put it out there. Imagine if you told that, true or false. Does your conversation change drastically if you find that out 2 minutes in?
Yeah, no, that would help. Like I wouldn't. Like this is not a time to talk about real estate.
That's it. You got to talk about a whole different situation. And when a person who's based on energy, you have gotten really good in the time you've been in my community at learning how to read people. Bro, let me talk about your delivery. Your presence, fantastic. Everything about the way you showed up in that call, in my opinion, was solid, except for the one thing. You walked away where you were supposed to push, and it changed the whole course. That's why you can do all these other things right, but you got to show up all the way. You know what I mean? It's like if you have all the ingredients for the cake except eggs. Well, you can't get mad when the cake don't cake. Cake's got a cake. It needs the cake things to cake, right? Your call didn't cake. That's the problem. You left the eggs. You forgot your sloppy.
Yeah, but for me, it's a simple fix because it wasn't. It was like an analytical problem of what's smarter to do rather than what's more comfortable. So like
that's it.
Now it didn't make sense. Like it's not gonna be difficult to change.
Yeah, dude. I think you learned that early on. And this is why I went on this whole tangent just now. I think if you know that earlier on, just based on the way you presented yourself on the rest of the call and what I know you to do from just how far you've come, dude, you're getting an 80. You're getting above an 80 because you're talking about the right things. This lady's like, oh my God, you're just like, I get it. She's gonna feel so. Imagine her stress not being able to tell people what she's dealing with. Dude, the second she feels like she can tell you and she doesn't feel judged, did you or did you not just become her best friend?
Yeah, I did.
Right? And now everything about the way you do business changes because you're like, okay, well, we got to get you out of here. What happened? Now now you know what solutions to present because you know she's leaving either way. Right? You know, she doesn't even care about making money because it's very, very clear this is the concern. So as long as the deal pencils and she feels like she's getting a fair, because fair is relative. This woman sounds like she's ready to walk away from this house and let it go into foreclosure, which means that if you're able to just clear her balance and make sure she's able to walk away clean, she's okay with that. Based on your vibe, that sounds like that's more or less where your head's at. Am I wrong, Kate?
No, and I mean, yeah, I was even like, you need a cleansing. I was like, she was ready to sell.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. I get that. It's like didn't exactly know what's important to you, and that piece of information would definitely help.
Yep. So
Um,
we belabored the point a lot. But really, really good stuff. Al, how do you feel overall, man? Give your final feedback on it.
No, it like everything makes perfect sense. Like everybody's feedback. Like I would say one thing. So probably this affected it. So remember the call with the Florida lady that hung up on both of us?
Yeah.
So like for me, it's always, oh, this happens, so you do this. So I was like, with her, it's like trying to talk like get an idea of what's going on, and she didn't want to talk about it. And then she hung up on me because I wasn't to the point. And I was trying to do the same thing here. It's like, okay, let's just move on. Let's just go around it instead of pushing through.
This is
It wasn't the same situation. Like it's not the same, but I treated it as the same.
Exactly that. And this is why I say don't focus on tactics. Focus on the person. Learn tactics so that way you know when to and when not to apply them. This is why you and I called the same person. You and I got hung up on by the same person. But which one of us was able to get the call back and turn that hang up into a fun, friendly conversation that she was looking forward to a follow up? Right? Like y'all were cussing at me because I was able to save that conversation. That actually happened. They actually, like, Carlos called me a very bad word because I was able to salvage that call. He's like, you mother, right? But why? That was the best aggressive compliment ever. But why? Because exactly what you just, the light bulb that's clicking in your head. The tactics matter, but not as much as the person matters. And if you put tactics before the person, it's a flip of the coin on whether or not it sticks. You put the person first, and you know where to put the tactics. It's ornaments versus the tree. The person is the tree. Tactics are the ornaments. Ornaments don't stand up well with no tree. And so you got to put the person first, and that's where it changes. In any scenario, the lady that we're talking about from Florida and Kate, is any percentage of those two personalities similar at all? Right? So you get it, right? I can see the frustration setting on your face. Hopefully you don't make a mistake again.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But it was for Dan that's sitting here. Like nobody talks about this. Like, what kind of person am I talking to?
Yeah, Dan, have you ever heard
Nobody
stuff
talks
like
about
this? Like, are you like, is this, you're obviously you've been in here, like there's other new people in here, but like how is the information that we're talking about resonating to you in the conversation that you're having? I'm assuming like you're thinking back to conversations as you're hearing this, right?
Yeah, I've heard other other kind of, I guess, leaders in the industry that have big operations, talk about the colors and personality types, and I've never looked into it more. I mean, it's definitely something I should. It'll help kind of navigate the conversation, help me mirror them quicker. But yeah, it's interesting because it creates that framework right off the bat. You know how to handle this person. It's like the color wheel. It's this color. You know how you need to interact. So yeah, it's kind of interesting hearing you guys talk about it at a much, much deeper level.
Yeah. And it goes way deeper, right? Like we've done some really, really thorough stuff when it comes to like understanding voice inflection and how to manage all that stuff. But everything has a time and place. And the problem is when you're new and you're trying to navigate this, your brain gets spaghettied really, really quickly. Why? Because it's like, all right, all of the information about real estate. Okay, now I got to learn how to comp. Now I got to learn how to underwrite. Now I got to learn how to make offers. Now I got to learn how to, like, what do I get a contract? What CR? There's a million things. And understanding personality types, voice inflection and mirroring and all these different things, they sound like just, it gets blurry after a while. Your brain gets overloaded and it's hard to know what to focus on. So segmenting this really, really makes a difference. That being said, guys, quick question. Who's had a good time with this so far today? Is this okay? Jack, you having a good time, bro? Dan, you having a good time? Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. So I'm getting ready to put together a couple of really, really cool things. I want to wrap today because I have a couple more things I have to do, and then I have my podcast tonight with Jonah here in a couple hours. Y'all should come and hang out if you want to hear us debate about weird things. But I'm going to do this again tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing this. We're going to start earlier and we're going to start straight into it. So for those of you guys who are in my community, we're going to start at our regular time at 12. We can work on any deals, do any follow-ups, do any of that stuff. Eddie, we can chat about what's going on with your deal. We can call that guy. I know we didn't get to do that today. And we can just work on seller stuff that we have to deal with. And then I'll open up the Zoom to everybody else at 1 o'clock. If those of you who are watching here or on YouTube want to come and hang out, let me know. Y'all can definitely come and just hang out and watch on YouTube. If you want the Zoom link, I am opening up my sales community for these little things that we're doing for the next couple of days as I kind of talk about what we're doing. I have some really cool stuff that I'm putting together, some announcements that I'm going to have coming next week. It's really, really fun. At the end of the day, guys, I've been around this industry for going on 4 years now. And I have seen so many different things and so many fantastic people. And I've listened to tens of thousands of seller calls at this point. And that's not an exaggeration. And what I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, the one thing I know without question that makes or breaks people's success in this business, if they're talking to sellers, is their skill with doing so. It changes everything. That's why it's my passion to help people get good at this. And that's what we want to do. So this is going to be a fun thing. I want you guys to come back and hang out. Come hang out tomorrow. We're going to do this some more. And then I'm thinking about next week. Not only am I going to have like a little announcement that I'm putting together, some cool things I'm going to make available, but I think I'm going to do like a mini tournament. Dan, if I turn this into like a tournament where you actually, those scores mattered, would you be down to compete against some others and see where you stack up?
Yeah, I'd be open to it. I mean, it sharpens the skills, so can't say no now. Yeah.
I like it. Let's go. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys. For those of you guys who are not part of the community, guys, seriously, reach out to me. Shoot me a DM, Daniel.theq on IG. If you're not following me there, shoot me a DM. I will get you the link. If not, I will put it on my story tomorrow. It'll be a different link from today. And wait, Jack, you just signed a pad split deal? Morgan, let's go, bro.
Yeah, I think it's under contract. So
that's how you know you went in when you don't even know if it's under contract or not.
I signed the papers and I think I saw the other dude's signature, so I think that means it's under contract.
That's usually what that means when they sign it. That means it's under contract. Good stuff, bro. Are you keeping this?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I appreciate you, bro. I'm glad you're out here crushing goals and getting deals done. It's going to be fun, guys. I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of this plays out. Alon Daniels, would Jack briefly explain what that means? You want to explain that, Jack, or do you want people to keep it in their imagination?
What, pad split or Morby method?
I don't know. Bring it tomorrow. We'll get it signed. Explain it tomorrow.
Cool.
Explain the deal. And then that way anybody who's so guys, shoot me a DM if you want the link. Watch my stories if you want the link. We're going to be doing this again tomorrow. We're going to make it fun. We're going to add some little twists to this. We're going to put together some things. I'm going to have some other special announcements. I'm doing this for a reason. And we're going to keep it exciting. I want to really do dope stuff for dope people in the industry. Dan, there is zero reason you should be out here in these streets by yourself trying to crush this, bro. You got way too many skills to be out here doing this alone, bro. I want to fix the solo real estate entrepreneur problem because there's too many good communities out here. That being said, for those of you all see the podcast, I'll see the podcast. For those of you guys who I'll see here tomorrow, for those of y'all in my community, love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Tomorrow's going to be fun. Eddie, let's lock up your deal tomorrow. Yeah, let's do this stuff. Appreciate you guys. Have a good night. See y'all.